Fort Worth diagnosed himself with the Ebola virus while he was in Africa trying to fight that disease.
And Dan is here with more.
Tim, Dr. Kent Brantley is a man of deep religious faith who has tried to save people in Africa from a devastating virus. Now that he himself has contracted Ebola, members of his former congregation in Fort Worth are asking for everyone's prayers. Dr. Brantley went to the West African nation of Liberia working for the Christian charity Samaritan's Purse. He and another American who work for the charity are both being treated for Ebola. Dr. Brantley left his job at Fort Worth's John Peter Smith Hospital last year to join the charity and brought his family with him to Liberia.
There are a couple of people who have talked directly to him, and they say his spirits are good, and as is his consistent with his character, he is more concerned about other people than he is about himself.
He still has a fever. He has body aches and pains. He's not out of the woods yet. We continue to pray for him, and we remain optimistic that he will survive.
Brantley's wife and 2 children returned to the United States last week before he showed symptoms of the disease. This strain of Ebola is fatal in about 60% of cases. Now, the other American who's been infected with Ebola is Nancy Wrightbull, an aid worker with SIM. Wrightbull is listed in serious condition. We spoke with a doctor at Parkland Hospital who specializes in disaster situations and disease outbreaks. She told us the low survival rates we hear about with Ebola typically pertain to people in the latter stages of the disease.
Physician now who's taking care of Ebola patients, who knows that they've been exposed because there's been a break in their personal protective equipment, depends on how immediate the treatment is, and it is a much better survival than someone who is actively full-blown in Ebola and fully symptomatic.
Dr. Klein told us most patients in Africa wait until their symptoms are too much to handle, in part because those who contract Ebola are often shunned by family members and others, and that contributes to the very low survival rate. The charity that both Dr. Brantley and Nancy Wrightbull work for is investigating exactly how the 2 workers contracted the virus. Since the start of the year, about 650 people in Africa have died from Ebola. It's considered the worst outbreak ever recorded. Dan Godwin on Good Day.